Hey guys, Happy Dude here. Let's do some maintenance on my Volkswagen Jetta. The car has now just over 120,000 kilometers, so that means it's time for big maintenance. So I'm going to replace all the fluids and all of the filters. First, let's check the coolant. Alright, it's still on maximum, and then let's check if it's still clear and no oil in it. Still looks good. Let's start with the air filter. Alright, there are two more here. Let's see. Not that bad, but really time to replace. This is the new one. Out with the old, in with the new. Oh, not that bad either. First I'm going to clean that. Alright, time to close it up. I choose speed 1 and 5 Newton meters of force. So it's a good sign that it is not too dirty, because that means that the car did have its maintenance on time. So that checks out with the maintenance book that I got. It was all filled in. And I always order man filters. They are the best for the best price, and I order them from Autodoc. They are very cheap. And it's the same as the original quality. Alright, now let's do the interior filter. So we just pull this off. The interior filter is right here. So, oh yes, here are the plugs for that mushy panel. So normally I think you have to slide this. Yes. Alright, and then it should drop out along with some dust and leaves. Remember the position? Oh god, I will have to vacuum. Ooh. I think this is a very dirty one. There it is. Ooh yeah, that's dirty. Alright, I got the new filter. As you can see, this one is yellow because it's a carbon filter, so it will work better against smelly air and dirt, and it's also treated so it will work better against fungus. I had to remove the camera a bit because it was in the way to squeeze the filter in, so you have to push on this side a little bit That's the one that is diagonal, and then you can push it in. Take the plastic cap, put the hooks in these holes right here, push them to the right, then push the filter in, and then pull it to the left. And done. It's time to change the oil. We have one bolt right here to remove, and then you just pull it off. It clicks in with these tabs here, and I will clean this also. And there is the oil filter. Alright, first I'm going to check the oil. So, come on, focus. It is down a little bit. Nothing bad. I'm not going to push it in completely, so we have a air hole so the oil can drain faster. I'm also going to open up this one, but I'm not going to take it off so dirt cannot go inside. I'm also going to loosen up the oil filter. So it's a 32. I'm going to use this adapter and then this extension. All right. Ooh, damn, that's stuck. Jesus, that's not normal. I'm going to tap it with my hand. Oh, Jesus. Oh. It does not need to be that tight. Here it is. Ew. Time to replace this. I always clean that up a bit. So you just pull that out, and then you can put in the new one. Also, don't forget to replace this seal right here. And here is the new one. Ta-da! With the seal included. Alright, I replaced the seal, and then the new one just clicks in. Alright, I'm going to put this in, but I'm not going to tighten it. I'm just going to leave it like that. First, I'm going to drain the oil. Okay, so first we're going to need to jack up the car. It's a new jack. Very light, very strong. First, the bottom plate has to come off, and there are a few T25s you will have to loosen to get to the oil plug. So there are 4 on this side, 4 on the other side. These are the ones. And then there are also two bigger ones which are different at the very end. Oh, there is still one here. All right. Yes. Oh, this is looking very clean. So the oil plug is behind here. And it should be a 19mm. Oh yes, first try. I loosened it up. Make sure the container is far enough, because the oil will go that way. Common mistake for new guys in auto mechanics. Bum bum bum. The oil is cold. If it's hot, wear gloves. Oh, nothing on my hand. Nice. I don't know why, but replacing oil on a car is so satisfying. So, with this car, you will not need to replace the ring, because it doesn't come off. So when the old oil is out, I'm going to put this back on, and then that, and then we can put the new oil in. And while the oil is draining, I can open this and turn the oil filter in, the new one. Just hand tight is enough. Alright. I feel some resistance. Just a few more. And that's enough. Now let's lower the car. Going to use this one, Castrol Edge 5W30. I poured in 3.5 liters. Let's see. I just love a oil dipstick. BMW doesn't use it anymore. It's a shame, because it's something really simple and accurate. A sensor can always fail. This can never fail. Oh, that's perfect. But you still need to start it, because there needs to be oil in the oil filter. So I'm going to start it, let it turn over for 10 seconds, then turn it off and do another measurement. Okay, but first I'm going to wait a few minutes so the oil can come down again, and I'm going to use that time to clean everything off. Alright, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? And now let's do another measurement. You see, it has come down. So I asked Volkswagen if this is the correct oil, and it is. C3 should be enough for me because I change it every 10,000 kilometers. It can also be LL, that stands for long life. You can leave that in for 30,000 kilometers, but I don't trust that. That's way too long for oil. And Volkswagen and Audi is also on the back here. It is important that you have GM Dexus 2. If your car uses a bit of oil, you can change 5W30 with 5W40. Alright, so I added another half a liter. Let's check it out. And perfect. And just to make sure we don't have any leaks, I started it and check the oil filter and the bottom, and I will check again after a day and then again after a week to see if the oil has lowered. Let's change the diesel filter right here. Oh, that's not tight at all. Actually, it's very loose. When the screws are out, take a big flat screwdriver to open it up. So just put it between here and twist. Oh, careful, there's some pressure on it. Okay, it's loose. Let's take a blanket for all the diesel. Let it drip for a while. Very dirty. Oh, check the compartment so there aren't any metal flakes in there. Also check the filter. If that is the case, you will need to replace your fuel pump, and I believe there are two. I'm not sure. Okay, the filter is out. It looks pretty clean in there. Just some little black particles. Let's clean that out, shall we? You can take the reservoir out by loosening up these three 10mm nuts and bolts, there, and one down there. Then you can take the reservoir out and clean it. Also, do not forget to replace this rubber O-ring here. This will be included with your main filter. This is the new filter, and this is the new rubber O-ring. Alright, first let's clean that out. I use the zip tie, so it's a bit easier to work, and you will need a long magnet to catch that 10mm nut here. And also that one down there, right here, is even deeper. So leave this bolt in, because if you loosen up the others, it can fall down. That will make a big mess, and you don't want any diesel on that belt. Okay, so the housing was pretty dirty. Look what came out. And this was white. It's clean now. And then place the housing back and tighten it down. Okay, once the housing is secured in place and it's clean, then we can pour in some new fresh diesel. There is some fresh diesel in there, and I'm also going to put some diesel additive in there. Then put the new filter on there. Alright. And don't forget to replace the O-ring. Put the torque screws back in. First, hand tight. Once the screws are in by hand, do the same thing, but without the wrench on it. Just do it by hand, always in 5 steps, until you can no longer turn it by hand. And you can tighten it with the wrench. It doesn't need to be a lot. Also, do not take it here, because you will put a lot more force on it. Take it here in the beginning and just turn it a few times. Okay, so the last step is to prime the engine. Just put on the ignition. You will hear the fuel pump. And do that 5 times. Alright, let's try and start it. Nice, first try. Raise up the RPM a bit and watch if the RPM stays at the same place, so the needle doesn't suddenly move, or you can feel the engine stutter. And then check if you have any leaks. Okay, time for the last thing on the list, and that is the brake oil. As you can see, it is pretty blackish. It should be very clear. Now, unfortunately, my device to put pressure on this reservoir and then push all the air and the old brake oil out has broken, and I ordered a new one, but it did not arrive in time, so I went to a local mechanic. If you have such a device, it's very easy. You just put it on the reservoir and it will fill it up automatically and put pressure on it. Then you just remove the wheels to gain access to the nipples of the brake caliper. Then you just open it up a bit and the old oil will come out, and that's it. If you have a lot of air in the system, you start with the caliper furthest away from the reservoir. But if you are just replacing the brake oil, then you start with the brake caliper closest to the reservoir. And that is to make sure that all the dirt can come out very quickly, so you don't spread it out over the long lines. As you can see, now the brake oil is nice and clear. You can see the bottom now. And here is the bill for replacing the brake oil.